250 summoners, hundreds of group stage matches, 45 single elimination matches. 2 champions arose from those tournaments, all pointing to this moment. 14 summoners fight for the right to be called the VBC's one above all. Welcome to Vega's Battleworld. Hey, welcome back to the channel, coming to you live from sunny California. Well, it's a little overcast here, but it's 8:30 a.m. on a Sunday, but I know that we have a global international audience, so welcome in on a Sunday for week 2 of Vega Battleground Championship Battleworld. To refresh your memories, in case the promo didn't do it well enough, I know it did, but still. 14 competitors, the highest ranked players in all of the VBC. We've done 3 tournaments. We're on our 4th. They had to qualify just to be here. And now we've got the chance. We've got the chance in this first matchup. It's a doubleheader today. In this first matchup, none other than TJarvis versus BMcG. Do not sleep on any of these competitors. The brilliant man, OG Highland, has already pointed out. TJarvis with the win has a chance to secure advancement into the knockout stage, into the championship side of this tournament. I'm excited for this one, and then make sure you stay tuned, because as soon as this one's over, we're going to whip you right across to KarateMike versus Andrew the Ruff. I'm joined today by 2 incredibly smart, also top 16 rated co-hosts, none other than Bitter Steel and Mr. Negative. Thank you so much for being here. You got it. I'm pleased to be here. I'm going to be setting up some of the tech side stuff here, so if you guys can kind of take over the announcing for a little bit, I would appreciate it. The audience cannot hear you. This was the problem we had. This was the problem we had on Friday night. Old Man Vega talking to himself again. As much as the audience enjoys that, I will try to get this sorted right now, and I will try to get this sorted right now. Let's see here. If you guys, shoot. Everyone just, we'll keep it going. Obviously, you guys can see the match as we try to get this fixed. I apologize. Yep, good luck with that. This is not what we wanted. They're both on, they're both doing this via Discord. And let's see here. Let's see here. I've completely lost them. This is great. All right, let's see if we can get this fixed up for everybody. So we can at least have you watching the action while we get this sorted. And we will get this sorted. There we go. Thought we had this fixed, everybody, from the other night. We tried to have Yusafa on, and it just didn't work out. Something happened. Discord does this every once in a while. Now, the reason why I don't, so for those who don't know, and it does sound like I'm just talking to myself, the guys are trying to help me out with this. What it is this happens with Discord. They just kind of, it's like they switch the inputs or the outputs or something, and they're like, have fun with that. All right, so we got that sorted, which means I can now mess with the sound and not feel too badly about it. So that's good. Now, let's get this fixed up. What I really need is DLL. He's the one who always tells me how to fix this. What is up with that guy? Let's see. Yeah, or Campo. Campo is like the solution to everything. That's ultimately what this is about. Is Campo? No. I'm just having fun. Have you ever seen him when he's angry? It is not fun. All right. Can you say a few more things? I think I may have sorted it. I mean, the audience can let us know.
Can you guys hear me?
I am also back. I've just done a war fight.
Yes. Audience, can you hear the delicious sounds of Na and I thought you could? All right, we're in business. Let's go have some fun. We've done it. We're solving problems. We're fixing all the internet issues. Let's crush this.
Spot versus Rincho is always fun to watch because I feel like Spot destroys every mystic, but Rincho is one of the few that his AI just makes it kind of tricky. Yeah.
Rincho does really like throwing heavies.
Mm-hmm.
It can make the portal block hard to do, and
yeah.
I don't think we've got the Fury here.
Yeah, no Fury, no physical vulnerability. That's tough. I love you too, Andy. This is going to be a close one. I think that the Bishop's going to end up winning out in the end, but 7-star Chavez is not a fun fight.
And the thing with that, it can go so quickly, so badly so quickly, because Bishop has so many buffs, and Chavez with MD and throwing the heavies like we can see her there. Got an unblockable special coming up.
Amazing. Did he just dex the entire unblockable special right there?
He did. Very impressive.
Think I've seen that. Wow. He's going for the kill right here. No.
Doesn't get it.
That's tough. But that I've never seen anybody deck Chavez in Special 2 like that.
And yeah, like PWF is pointing out, the energy resist of Chavez is big here.
Yeah. But he's, playing well against the wall, just doing what he can. And the energy resist plus the masochism, he's just going to heal. Yep. Oof.
Okay, so TJ took that first one 2-0, correct? I'm going to update the scoreboard for everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm actually going to take this opportunity. I'm going to try to get a little bit better video quality if we can on these guys too. I think the change I made lowered that quality, so we'll continue to do that a little bit.
Sounds good.
There we go. And I did not know that today would be a test of my tech skills, that I would wake up early on a Sunday and that's what we would be showing.
Hey, you know what? Before we started the stream, you were saying you're the best at tech.
I did. I named myself the Wizard.
Yeah.
Which now seems like I kind of deserve that.
Karma hit quick.
Exactly. I believe you all on the other side of the pond call that instant karma. I don't know if that joke will land. There it is. All right. My man knows his Beatles.
So you say that, but I just think of Longshot and I get PTSD from all of the instant karma that's exploded on me.
So many jokes in there that I can't touch because we're live. All right. So thank you everyone for being here in the chat. Thank you to the co-hosts for going through this. Obviously, as I don't know if I told you all, there might be times where I have to step away. Today is about these co-hosts. I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for them. The links to their channels are in the description, as well as the competitors. Do me a favor, go support them. Let them know how much you appreciate the show we're putting on for y'all today. Because 100%, without a doubt, without the co-hosts, there would be no show today. And I am incredibly, incredibly grateful. Thank you to everyone in the chat. We'll do our best to kind of interact back and forth. And I appreciate your help as we got the sound set up. I did see a few people asking, where it's a doubleheader today. You have not missed any matchup. The KarateMike Andrew the Ruff will be after this one. And I saw the question, no, there are no additional rules aside from our standard rules. Andrew, if you have a specific question, please do let us know. But yes, just only 6 champions from each class in your deck. And after that, you and Mike just have at it. It looks like, based on your thumbnail, it looks like you're a bit of a chef. Mike is going to do some eating today. I'm very, very excited to see it. If you haven't seen Andrew's thumbnail, go subscribe to his channel and take a look at it. And then also enjoy all the amazing, amazing warplay. And Cassie Lang, it's phenomenal. I've been having a great time with it.
Yeah, Cassie's been a revelation. Just seeing the way, I feel like a lot of people are utilizing her. She's not even like a secret or, controversial at this point. You whiff a couple hits, but you are so tanky. I don't even know if that matters. So I can't see the bans, but I imagine they're sticking with the same thing. And
I believe
BMcG is getting his overseer. Let's see how that goes.
I will say TJ's draft does look very nice. We do friendly a fair bit, and these are a lot of his comfort champs.
For sure. But like I said, Overseer is B's comfort champ. Like his number one. Yeah, Martin, it's me.
TJ gets a nice AI for that initial portal block build.
Mm-hmm. He might let this rip right here. No?
Playing it safe.
Yeah, I wonder if he tries to wait for Wrath to throw the special 2, because the damage is going to be gift.
I have a question for you two. Is there a trick to getting the defender to not just heavy into your block? That's something I'm still trying to learn with Spot. Is I feel like I go for the portal block and they're just like, okay, we're just going to heavy, or we're just going to stand here and look at you. Like, it's really weird that you're doing that. We're just going to stare at you. Is there a trick to not letting that happen?
I mean, part of it is just up to the AI itself, but sometimes you can help it a little bit. Like a lot of people with Rintra, they'll do 1 dash back and then try another portal block, but Rintra is close enough to heavy you again. So what you can do is do 2 dash backs and it'll get you out of range and get Rintra to dash in again. Little things like that can help, but ultimately it is up to the AI.
That's tough. B ate a special 3 with 4% left. He would have taken that. Wow. I was close.
Yeah, I have to say it's rare. It's rare to see the Overseer let B down, and I feel like he did. B obviously went for the kill, and I think would have had the win there.
Yeah,
but it just didn't finish off Toad.
Yeah, the mix of Toad being in the corner plus masochism is just too much regen to overpower in that fast way.
It's really hard to know when to back off Toad a little because you can see that he's so low and you really want to get him down. But sometimes just backing off into the middle of the map can stop his regen and let you finish out the fight.
Absolutely. Yep. And, I asked you the question at the wrong time. That was my fault there, Bitter. I would like to go back to that in between the sets here, but let's go ahead and announce this. But I would like to hear a little bit more about the AI manipulation ideas you guys have.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So Ghost is probably the best Bishop counter, even better than iDoom, just because she gives him absolutely no prowess and can ramp from the incinerates. TJ is obviously ridiculously good with Ghost, and AA needed perfect RNG and AI, and it doesn't seem like B got that.
TJ is playing very well as well. We had a lovely SP2 Dex at the start there.
Mm-hmm. And then timing that phase perfectly for the second SP2.
Yeah, flawless.
Yeah, there's not much you can do with it when Ghost is playing at that level.
We were discussing it earlier when we were setting this stuff up, and I think B. I want to see B wake up because TJ is playing TJ style, right? B's better than this. B is a much better player than what we're seeing up there. I do think some of that is going up against TJ. This is a sport. This is an esport, in my opinion. And I think there is that element, right? When you know you're going up against someone like TJ, I think it causes you to maybe take a couple chances, inputs fail, these things start happening. But B's in this realm. He's in this realm with the rest of these competitors, and I think he honestly maybe literally just woke up. So I want to see him figuratively wake up. I think he's going to. I think this third set, we talk about it a lot. It's going to be a big one. I think it's B's chance to get right back in this, force us to a 6th or 7th set, because the skill and the talent is there. There's no doubting that. It's just whether he can pull it out today.
Absolutely. I actually want to say that 2 tournaments ago, B eliminated TJ in the knockout stage of your tournament.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I know there's been a lot. B is advanced. There's a reason why he's in it so far. So thanks for the reminder on that. Thank you to everyone who's in the chat. Again, we're not going to be able to say hello to everyone, but I appreciate you all being here. And then, of course, these generous donations from Roy. What's up, dude? Thank you so much. We had one from OG Highline as well. And then none other than the Zach Richards. All right. Well, we go into this third one. Bitter, I know you kind of did an explanation already, but if what kind of helping people understand the AI manipulation, or if maybe you had a video on it or something like that, helping people understand how to maybe make the defender block or hit into your block or anything like that. If you had any quick tips, or like I said, if you had a resource.
That was a great setup, Vega. I do have something on Valk specifically, but it does work for a lot of champions like Hulkling or Masakre or whatever you want to use. I do have a video on that AI manipulation trick. Thank you for that, Vega.
Beautiful. And people can find that on your channel, which is linked in the description.
100%.
Fantastic.
I just want to point out on B there, I feel like he made a few mistakes that you wouldn't usually expect from him, and I wonder if they were input issues. He almost went to message TJ just before that invite came in, and I wonder if he was thinking about restarting.
Yep, he just messaged me that he needed a game restart, but accepted it. So he's free to take his 3 minutes and could have rejected it, but yeah. Sometimes when you get in these tournaments, it's about putting on a show. You get into it, and you get an invite, and sometimes you just go for it. I want to say one more thing about the AI manipulation. I think an important part that people don't really talk about with Spot is the fact that all you have to do is re-tap block to reset his portal block. So if you want to time the countdown to when portal block actually gets activated, you can re-tap it a couple times if the AI is being passive. Yeah.
That sounds like a good call. And then, you're just not sitting there holding. That makes a lot of sense. That's a great point. Have you noticed any changes in the bans? Been so busy trying to set up the tech side of things. And I am aware that B's side is still blurry. There's just not much we can do about it. I think that has to do with his internet connection, which also could be part of why he maybe wanted to reset the game. I think he's dealing with a few tech issues himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bans seem consistent.
Yes, the same bans.
Okay.
Taking away TJ's rank 5 Killmonger and Longshot is a good shout. He's very good with both, and obviously Killmonger is just an absolute pain of a tank on defense.
Mm-hmm. And Longshot, rank 5 Longshot, is just one of the nastiest things in this entire game.
Probably one of the best 2-ways in all of BGs.
Yeah, he really is. I really, really, really want to rank mine, and TJ is most of that reason. So let's see if B can bounce back here. He's going to place his Mordo.
Uh-oh.
So this might even have a little bit of a psychological impact on TJ from last time with Mordo.
Was that with the emoji? Was that a joke? Because of B's Mordo really took TJ to town last time they matched.
Potentially.
Yeah. I think B actually did the emote because he just did this matchup and messed it up. The Archangel versus Rintra.
And you're seeing, you all know how much I love America Chavez. One of the things I love about her is that is a passive stun, and you're seeing, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
This is going to end
glad
it.
that she's a 7-star and people are appreciating her for what she is, because TJ might get rid of this Mordo like in 20 seconds.
Does Mordo have additional energy resist? I was surprised that SB2 didn't finish it.
Only while
only while blocking.
Okay.
The great thing with Chavez against Mordo is it's really easy to time when to take his power away, because you can do a full combo, you can do your heavy, and then you can even throw a special. So you could start it halfway through his timer coming back, and you can still take away that power gain. And then even if it gets through, you've got the reversal.
Yep. And B played that well. I mean, the big problem there is just Rintra has all the health in the entire game, apparently. So good AA RNG. It still takes about 60 seconds to melt him away.
And that's without including masochism as well, which is just another issue to deal with.
But the neurotoxins do turn it off. It's one of the few things that prevents the healing.
Yeah, and the bleeds themselves turn off shrug off abilities, so it is a little easier to deal with.
Yep. It's he's one of the best counters for this meta, but there's a lot of reparrying, and it's one of the few times Archangel takes any type of skill.
I think TJ might be throwing a little here. Toad versus Bishop isn't the ideal matchup, but Toad wouldn't have been much use on defense since B had a Nimrod.
Yep. I was TJ, I think I'd go back to the corner and just ramp and get the regen and just deal with it. But I think that ship sailed now that he has the incinerates up.
What does Falcon turn off anything from Absorbing Man, or is it just kind of turning off the node when he's locked on? I'm not too familiar with the Falcon versus Absorbing Man matchup at all.
I think the biggest thing is that his SIG is going to give extra crit chance, and Absorbing Man has that terrible crit resist.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of the few champs that can actually do good damage with basic attacks versus Absorbing Man.
Got it.
The main thing will be watching out for his forms, really, and try not to parry too much to avoid masochism.
I don't think he's going to be able to kill Absorbing Man with this matchup, just because I think when he starts switching forms, when he gets to the lower health pools, he's not going to be able to get past that regen, especially with masochism.
Which is interesting because, like, we talked about this potentially being a strategic threat at TJ. I in hindsight, I think the strategy that one of you pointed out of just letting Toad get beat on in the corner, then he's going to start healing. What we're watching here, I think Toad could have maybe won this matchup. For
sure. And I'm not convinced he hasn't.
Yeah, if Absorbing Man's cornered Falcon here, B's in the corner. He looks like Cassius Clay up there, Muhammad Ali in the corner play, but Absorbing Man's finally had enough. I think you might be right there, unless Bishop gets to his SP3, which he has been passive stun.
But he took more off.
Yeah.
It might have been one of those matches where you think, okay, I might not do great here, but I might still win.
Yeah.
That essentially is the exact opposite. You often hear me talk about the third set when someone's down 2-0 and they come away with a win that they feel like they maybe shouldn't have, and it can significantly shift the momentum. This is literally the exact opposite. I think that was probably one that B thought for sure he was going to win, kind of like the guys are saying. Maybe went a little safe, and now he just lost. And we'll see if B can come out of this, but that is not where you want to be.
I do wonder if he's going to change things up here. If you go down 3, maybe the bans aren't working. Sometimes you do stick to them just because you know that that's probably the best strategy, and it might not even be related to bans or drafts or play or whatever. But sometimes you might see a change up in round 4 if you've lost the first 3.
Yep. Also, a reminder: this is part of what the competitors asked for it, and it's like it's going to take a lot of extra time, but I think it'll be cool viewing. We can do it, especially for Battleworld. This is a dual elimination tournament, so the winners of each group are secured advancement. Then there's going to be a bit of a playoff from all the competitors who are second in their groups, and they will also advance to what we're calling the Deadlands bracket. And then even then, not for them, but for everyone else, it will be a double elimination. So one performance doesn't go your way. We all are off sometimes. You're not out of it. You are not out of it. What today is really about is TJ able to secure advancement, or does B create ultimate chaos in Group B? I think you know which one I like. I like the chaos.
Chaos is always the fun way to go.
It really is.
Hey, maybe B can do what my Celtics couldn't, come back from 3-0.
There you go.
I know TJ before this was practicing a ton and getting prepped, and I promise that what OG Highline said at the beginning of B could take this, TJ fully felt that. He put a lot of effort and crafting and practice into, getting this 6-0 lead.
I'm going to take a quick second just to say hello to some of the people in the chat. We got Royo, MU8, Bryce. What's up? Mermaid Man, how you doing? Omal, Michael, K-Dog. What's up, dude? You're darn right. This is the Chavez I wanted 2 years ago, but I'm a patient man. I'm playing the long game here. Thin Tech, one of the heralds, a number 1 seed in all of the VBC, 2-time champion himself, gracing us with his presence in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Z Superfast, Vast Laser, Chris, and more. Miss DK, thank you for all the gorgeous graphics we got on the screen for you today. If you need graphic work done, Misty K is the place to go. Links to their channels and Twitter feed are also in the description. And I did see the question, KarateMike versus Andrew the Ruff. The Andrew the Ruff. We'll be following this one, maybe not necessarily immediately, but soon thereafter. We're going to keep the stream going, and we'll get you right to that one as soon as we possibly can. All right, let's see if B can climb out of this. I mean, B is outrageously talented. He's beat TJ before. Nothing is over till it's over. 3-0 is not where you want to be, though, right? You don't want to be down 3-0.
We did see he took away the spot, which TJ has been doing a lot of damage with.
Mm-hmm.
A little change in strategy there.
I think the thing that's probably frustrating B at this point is TJ just keeps getting Rintra.
Yeah.
And that's one of those defenders that if it goes to your opponent every single time and it doesn't go to you, then you're at like an inherent disadvantage.
And we see a mistake out of TJ. Keep your eye down there. We see a mistake finally happen. He's got Herc, so he's not done yet, but I think that's the first mistake I've seen TJ make.
Yep, and he didn't get good counting on the rock stacks either, so he's kind of in no man's land. Got to hit things block, and he's just regenning for masochism in the meantime.
B plays this safe and slow. He can take this down and take the W in the first round here.
Yep, and I know B is extremely comfortable with Stark Spidey, and I would not be surprised if he gets a good time here. This is what you need. You need one of your comfort champs to come in and help you relax.
And get one of your defenders to do its darn job, which is what things doing. You guys made a good point. TJ's been getting Rintra. Rintra's been doing his job. His job is to cause problems on defense, and he's been doing it great. And get thing in there. Do the same thing. Do your job thing. You've got one job. Do it.
Nobody's using him on attack. For sure.
No one's doing it. There's no hazard shift node. You know. And B again, the great rope-a-dope. For those of you who don't know, go check out some great Muhammad Ali fight videos. B was in the corner just playing rope-a-dope with Rintra there. I love to see it. I don't cheer for the contestants. The only thing I cheer for is for them to play well, because I want them to feel good about the way they performed. But I do cheer for these matches to go to the best of 7. I am definitely cheering for B there. I love seeing him have a great fight. That's how B can play.
Absolutely.
And after losing 6 in a row, it can be a massive boost to just get one. It could be the start of a momentum shift. You can start to get in your opponent's head a little and try and bring something back. Absolutely.
You guys know. I mean, you guys have both been on both sides of that, right?
Absolutely. It's so hard to close out your opponent in these types of tournaments. We've seen it so many times that you just let someone hang around for just long enough, and then all of a sudden, it's a game.
Difficult thing for B here is, though, TJ has counters to all of the possible defenders he could place. TJ has a couple sciences for his mystics. He has Ghost for Toad. So he's got to close out one of these. And TJ helped him a little by eating a bit of health towards the start of this fight.
Yep. Mojo has negative physical resistance, and Falcon's lock-on is going to turn off the D-gens whenever it comes his way. So I think that B is in a pretty good spot right here. If he can just dex this special too. Yep. Oh, he should have waited just a second.
D-gen could tick him down. Anti-life field was almost over. Andy eats a little combo there as well.
Mm-hmm. Like we were saying with the other Absorbing Man fight, once he gets to those low healths right now, he's just so hard to take down. But direct damage is what counters him best.
Well, the difficulty here is B's pushed Mojo red and with 5 haters. So, this looks like the end of this one.
That's one that I think if B watches this stream, he's going to regret that fight right there because he had it. Mm-hmm. And then you guys point out a couple of mistakes, and then he went for the kill. It is what it is. He's got to move on.
He probably knew that TJ had a good matchup.
Yeah.
And assumed that TJ is going to play like TJ usually does. And sometimes when that happens, you've got the slightly worse matchup. You push yourself to do things that you usually wouldn't, and mistakes can happen sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's definitely the esports side of this. That unless you've competed in one of these tournaments, I think it's just hard to fully understand that there's this other element to it, that you're truly going against another person, and that can cause you to take these calculated risks.
Yep.
Yeah, you just know how good TJ is, so sometimes you think, oh, I've got to take this risk. But, we all do make mistakes, and sometimes it could be better just to stick to your methods.
I'm kind of surprised TJ's going Ghost here from Mordo. And I'm very surprised going Sasquatch for Chavez, especially during a masochism. I think he may go for the staggers on the heavies to ramp him quickly. I'm very curious to see how this goes.
Yeah, that looks like it's exactly what he's going to do. That does increase Sassy's, I think, combat power rate when there's a stagger up, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's correct. And then even more when they have 4 or more, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if B had a better option. I mean, Toad could have done it. I guess the poisons would have reduced the regen rate.
Yeah, I don't know. Mordo's Furies, which make him strong, would have gave a bunch of MD. He's got reverb up.
Yeah, I think we're looking at the end here.
Yeah. And that's the thing about America Chavez is she doesn't have a lot of threats, but the second that those threats come on, you're kind of SOL.
Well, it's clear. There's nothing that can change this outcome. So even if somehow a bug comes in, the TJ has won. TJ took this 4-0. That's a dominant performance out of TJ in Group B. He has secured advancement and is in FinTech side of the bracket for the winners bracket there. He will face off against the winner of Group D, who fortunately we'll be seeing here in just a few minutes. I believe they're not scheduled to start for another 20 or so. So I think we'll just kind of hang out. We'll do maybe a little interview. Andrew, let me, if you guys could kind of take over for a minute, being bitter and nah, I'm going to message Andrew and Mike.
Sure.
Yeah. Is TJ going to hop on for an interview?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna unmute and undeafen them here.
You're still screen sharing, by the way. Before you message them, I wanted to give you a heads up.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I just turned it off. I appreciate that, though, because I am trying to do quite a few things at the same time.
Yep.
And they're not my typical things. So let's go ahead and do this. And let's go ahead and...
Mike's saying he needs to change out of his shorts first.
Oh, yes. Putting on the superior shorts or just removing them altogether? These are the things
That's
people
so
want to know.
inappropriate. Karate Michael shorts.
I just
Well, he might be changing into something more appropriate. Is the thing.
fantastic.
Mm.
It's
Hey, I'm wearing shorts.
how you doing? I believe they're both here.
I think
TJ
he's still muted.
and you're no, I can hear you. You're right there.
Oh yeah, he is. He's
TJ
fine now,
and
yeah.
B, if you guys can hear us, good matchup to both of you. I am handing over a little bit of the interview to Bitter Steel and Nah.
So, I guess my first question. Congrats, by the way, TJ. My
Thank you.
first question is: are you going to rank 5 Ghost? Because that was disgusting. That was, I think, 4 or 5 fights there. That was just Ghost, 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 Ghost.
No, I don't think that Prestige would be on my side,
I don't know.
and
I think
that's
it might
kind
be
of a
worth
worry
it.
at the moment. But yeah,
It's either that or rank 5 Hurt. You know, the only person who betrayed you. But great job. I mean, your Rentro was putting in crazy amounts of work. Yeah. I don't
thank
know
you, and
what else to say.
GGSB as well. I could tell you're having an off day. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, GG's, dude. I mean, it's not really an off day. It's just you're wild. I don't know if you noticed.
I've seen you put the best scores as well.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to play against you too much, if that makes sense. Instead of playing my own game and hoping things fall in place. Like Overseer versus Toad, I had him at like 5%, and I was at like 90% health. And you know, you had Spot versus, I can't remember who it was, one of my Mystic Defenders. And I'm like, it's a rank 5 Spot. Like, there's not much I can do. I have to be fast. And, you know, I paid the price for being too risky, so to say, to try to keep up with you.
Yeah.
GG's, dude.
Yeah, thank you. GG's to you as well.
So B, one question I had was in that first Archangel versus Rintra, it seemed like you were making a couple mistakes that weren't, you know, suited to a player of your standard. Were there any input issues there? Because I think you almost
Yeah,
refreshed
I wanted to do a restart after that. I couldn't do anything. Everything felt like half a second off. So like getting a heavy when he was stunned was just impossible.
I said, dude, you should have declined and then just restarted. I wouldn't have minded.
It is what
I didn't
it
see
is.
I saw it in the co-pilot chat afterwards and completely missed it.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
fine.
I think regardless, all I know is that both of you had some really, really good fights in there. Like, I think a lot of the fights that you ended up dying to, TJ, if you watch it back, B was probably very close to beating you a bunch of times, and your defenders just went red. And
I wouldn't doubt that.
It was.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a lot closer than the score shows. Like that Overseer versus Toad, the regen with Masochism plus those corner hits just added up, and you could not get that last 4%.
Yeah.
So that's what I was relying on.
Yeah, a lot of those matches were me just trying to be like, okay, TJ's probably done now, so I need to be done pretty quickly. So I was trying to make, you know, tactical calls on pushing them red, hoping they die, and then, you know, they'd be at like 2% health and throw their special 3.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Jesus.
We've all been there.
That does
yeah.
happen a lot when you're playing someone that you know is very good. You kind of get in your own head, don't you? And
Yeah.
you think, I've got to do it this well, so I've got to take this risk that I usually wouldn't. So I completely get where you're coming from there.
Yeah, that's exactly it for how this went. You know, because TJ is one of the best players in this tournament. Not a knock on anyone else in the tournament, but TJ is just always in Celestial, one of the best war players I know. He's amazing dude at the game, and you got it. You know, that kind of, how do you say it, reputation is going to affect how I play. So
For sure.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I appreciate those.
And you've earned it, TJ. I mean, I think everybody knows in this community, he's nice like that. TJ is nice. B, who are you rooting for, Mike or Andrew?
I got to go with my buddy in BG1.
Yeah. Andrew, you need to leave. For Loki, they're all rooting against you. Come to SSX.
Yeah, I'm rooting for
he's-
Andy. Purely for the Gomp days.
Yep. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Do you guys mind if I stay to co-host that, or is there a bit too much? Or is there a bit too much space?
I think that's a Vega question, but I would not mind dropping off and letting you do that. If
I don't mind. It's completely up to you guys. If you guys would rather stay on, I'm happy to just spectate from outside.
Let me ask: who is anyone available to stay through the duration of Andrew versus Mike?
Oh, yeah, I could stay. It's just if you guys would rather, I don't mind.
Okay, if TJ can stay, then let's go ahead and have TJ, and then Bitter and Nah and B. Were you interested in staying too, or are you going to get on with your day?
I probably got to get on with the day.
Okay.
The girlfriend wants me to come hang out.
Well, then you be a smart man and go hang out with that lady of yours. Have a nice time, my friend.
Oh yeah,
hey.
yeah. I can only allocate so much MCoC time a day.
I know how that goes. You know what though? Real quick, while I am paying attention because I've been setting up stuff on the stream side, dude. You know, obviously it just is what it is. I was hearing everything, and I think your analysis, what happened, was spot on. The one thing I wanted to remind you is you're not out. You're definitely not out. 2 of the second place finishers will advance. And so we still have a lot more tournament to go and a lot more chance for you to perform the way I know you can and the way we all know you can too. So just keep that in mind as we move on.
Alrighty, man. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And let's just go with a 4-person announcing team here, and we'll all do our best. Because like I said, I may have to step aside from time to time. And I know you all may too. You may have things you need to do. We're just waiting for Mike. This match is starting a little bit earlier than, so it might take a few minutes. So we can take some questions from the chat, those sorts of things.
I'm gonna just go get my laptop real quick. I'll not be a minute.
All right, sounds great. Thank you. As I said, TJ has secured advancement here in winning Group B. He is on the FinTech side of the bracket. And let me see if I can get that printed up here, and then we can show it to everybody. We can kind of talk about that, do a little analysis as we go. Any questions from the chat as far as some of the matches you've seen? You've got 2 of the best Battlegrounds players in the world here, and also me. So if you've got any questions, now is a great time. You've got them on call.
I think the real battle, as WF pointed out, is it's about the biceps here, I guess.
The biceps are large. The sun is out. The guns are out.
They're lucky I'm setting this tournament out. Huh.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. If I was there, I'd show them what a real bicep looks like. The dad bod goes hard.
So Vega and I, we've got a lot of different perspectives here on this new setup. So Vega is the organizer, Nara is a spectator. What do you guys think about this double elimination? How does it stack up compared to the previous tournaments in your opinions?
I think that for me, as a viewer and not a participant, I like the idea of double elimination, but I don't know if I like it more than the group stages with all the different players going at it. There was a lot of days with the group stages that it felt, I know y'all are British, so you probably don't know the greatness of this, but it felt like watching NFL Red Zone on a Sunday. We could just kick back and watch a bunch of streams back to back to back. Vega's Scott Hansen in this analogy.
If anyone has a UK equivalent, let me know, and I'll find out how hype it is.
Oh, it's hype. But yeah, I do think the double elimination is going to be good because there's been a few tournaments that, somebody gets eliminated off of maybe a bad draft or bad RNG, and I would have liked to see them keep playing, and we'll have that chance this tournament. So there's pros and cons to me.
Right, I'm back. I think.
Yeah, you're back. So let's see, I see Andrew in the chat. Okay, cool. So they'll get started when they get started. We're not actually far now. So here is actually where the championship bracket is, where we're at with it, if everyone can see it. You can see FinTech there at the absolute top. TJ has secured advancement. The winner of 1D, which is what we have going on right now. If Andrew is able to best KarateMike, Andrew will win Group D. Yeah, he came away with an upset victory over Nick 136. And so he would be 2-0, securing that advancement, and then he'd go against TJ. You can see that right there. 1C is Marcel, Bryce, and Blaze. Marcel, being McLinks, will be playing Bryce, I believe, on Tuesday. I'll get that up on my channel a little closer to the actual date, but I believe they're going Tuesday evening, with Marcel McLinks a chance to secure advancement too. So I totally understand what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense to me, and I kind of miss a little bit of that too, to be honest. But a couple of things have come out of this with these smaller groups. And I don't know if you probably actually didn't notice, because I know you're not participating in this one due to real life responsibilities. Is what this has done, though, is I think this has allowed us to make the week 2 and the week 3 matchups significantly more meaningful. And this is what I mean by that is you already have people able to secure advancement now. Like these week 2 matchups, people could advance or the group goes completely into chaos, right? And then additionally, next week, people are fighting for their tournament lives, right? And this is why I picked the cadence that I did, or the scheduling that I did. So next week, Yusafa and Bitter will face each other. The winner is still alive, the loser's out. In Group B, BMcG and DLL will face each other. The winner is still alive in the tournament, the loser's out. So that's why we had a slightly different cadence in Group D, where Andrew and Mike are going against each other now. So Nick will face the loser of today's week. He'll face Mike. And that'll play out with some more just kind of chaos there as far as are people advancing or not. And that has already started. So it's a different thing, but I'm hoping you get that same kind of sports drama out of it. And potentially more of it.
As well. Oh, sorry, maybe you go.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What's up?
I guess what it does is it removes those week 3 matchups from, a 4-person pool where the 3rd and 4th person will play, and then neither of them have a chance to get through to the bracket round. So I guess it keeps it exciting up to the end. Yeah.
Essentially, that's it. I think we may move to this full time for season 2. I'm enjoying it. Obviously, I'll see how the viewers enjoy it, and we'll take some. Maybe I'll put up like a community post or do something on Discord for it, because of course the viewers are one of the main reasons. One of the main things to consider here, right, is their experience. But it also has done this, and this happened a few times. It was rare, so it's not weighing into my consideration too much. But we'd end up in a scenario with the 4-person groups where someone would have lost their first 2 matchups, and they're like, "Why am I still even playing?" And I'm saying, like, please to put on a good show. And they're like, "Okay, I'll do that for you, but I'm already eliminated." I'm like, I know, but like, we need to have the match, So that sort of scenario. I think this one, it does everything you can to ensure that the competitors are doing their absolute best for every single matchup. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'll talk to you guys, all the actual competitors, to get your feedback, and then of course the audiences as well.
Also, being in the chat, it seems like it's way more manageable for you. And if that's the case, that's the most important part, because I know how much effort and time you put into these tournaments. And so if you can take it down to 14, 16, manage it better, enjoy it more, spend more time with your family, I think that it will end up putting on a better show because you'll be less burnt out.
So I will say that has played into my thinking a little bit too, and I appreciate you bringing that up. One is not burning out, and then also this was something that I did pick up from the commenters and people who comment a lot and show up to a lot of the streams. And I didn't specifically ask. It's just feedback that I feel like it's been given quite a bit, is they enjoy seeing the story of the tournament. Therefore, I think the more of the matches I can show, it's not about showing more matches, it's about showing a higher percentage of them. The more they enjoy the tournament, the more they're invested in it. Again, that kind of esports drama of, look, we've seen, DLL used this analogy quite a few times. I really like it. He's like, we've all seen Hercules' SP2. We know what it looks like. But how did that happen? Why did it happen? Why did it need to happen? That's what makes this interesting. And it makes a lot of sense to me. So again, if we can find ways to show more of the matchups, a higher percentage of them, I think it makes sense. So it looks like they're getting started. These guys are going a little earlier than they had planned, just a few minutes, but I do appreciate them both doing that. I'll kind of turn over the hosting responsibilities again to you all while I do my best to get the aspect ratio set up.
Aw, you liked my analogy.
Hey, there's DL always coming in. Every time that happens, I always feel like the audience is like, hey, when did these guys' dad show up?
Oh, shoot. I didn't even realize we're done with war.
Yeah. If all 5 of us are in the same alliance, so I'm going to try and be calm and not self-indulgent, but good job, guys.
You can do it. I know you can. So
Yay.
I am going to put up the poll because I know, I mean, it's Karate freaking Mike, right? Like everybody loves this guy and they should. And those of you who don't know Andrew the Ruff, you're about to see a show, my friends. This is group. I'm getting my groups confused. Come on, Vega. Words are hard, but you can do it, little buddy. We're all cheering for you. This is Group D action. If Andrew wins, he secures advancement. He would win Group D to earn himself a first-round matchup against TJarvis. That's your prize, my friend. But it's better than the alternative. I know, exactly, right? You've done so well. You get to go against TJ. I'm going to put the poll up in the audience. I want the audience to let me know who's winning this one. We'll close this down pretty quickly because I know the performance will start to influence the votes. And crowd, the crew, the co-hosts. How do you see this one going?
Well, the first thing I noticed is that KarateMike made his profile picture shorts, which is extremely unprofessional. So because of that, I think I have to give the edge to Andrew. Jokes aside, Mike banned Adam Warlock and Andrew banned Zemo, and I think that this is going to be really good. They are probably the most even competition I've seen so far this tournament.
Zemo and Titania, making it real personal.
I know.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I know I said that I would turn it over to you guys, and then now I'm interrupting, but I think this is important. Did Andrew ban my rank 5 Zemo? I know it's not mine, but my rank 2 Titania and my rank 2 America Chavez. I feel like this is a shot not only at KarateMike, but also me, the host.
I know.
I feel like it's justified because Mike banned Adam.
This is true. This is true. I just feel personally insulted as well here. I might actually be cheering for KarateMike now.
I think that you have to at that point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It will be interesting between these two because they obviously are the same alliance. There's already the rivalry there.
I think it's really fun in these tournaments when people are in the same alliance and have to go against each other, because then you get an alliance chat and people are kind of split, or people don't want to say congrats or any good luck or anything. There's this camaraderie, but also a little bit of tension.
It's a great balance, though.
Absolutely. And yeah, as B said in the chat, everyone should go hit the like button. We have a bunch of people watching, coming to see Vega's Battlegrounds Championship Battle.
I know that me and all 100 of my alt accounts have hit the like button. So just, you know. I am pumped up for this. These guys are both so amazing at this game. I like them both. I got to know them both from my time in For Loki. An amazing alliance, amazing players. This is the thing, right? I mean, we had BMcG versus TJarvis, and then we get to do this. Like, this is a delicious. I'm excited that I've been up since 6:30 in the morning preparing for this. Started live at 8:30. Thank you to the competitors, everyone in the co-host with me right now. Because of the co-host, we're able to do this. I have not had to step aside yet, but I'm pretty sure I will be able, or I will have to. The links to everyone are in the description. Do me a favor. If you're enjoying these tournaments, do me a favor. Go subscribe to their channels. And then, honestly, you'll be doing yourself a favor because you're going to be entertained while you get better at this game. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, guys, all 4 of you in the booth and who's been in the booth today. Thank you for being here with me.
It'll be also curious to see whether both of them are running recoil, which it looks like Andy is, but Mike isn't.
Yeah.
Which could be pretty detrimental, potentially.
Yeah, that block damage from Doom just on the recoil into spot has been nasty.
It's not even just that, it's that recoils can, if you build your deck right around it, which I know Andy has done, it can be like very, what's the word? It can tilt the match heavily in one direction.
Absolutely. It looks like Spot's going to finish off Doom right here.
Yeah. But the block damage might be
It might be too much, but at the same time, Sasquatch is not an easy person to finish off, even with Scorpion.
Yeah, and it can't
heal this meta. Yeah, exactly.
I also want to point out for people who aren't aware, the way that Sasquatch's Wrath works is that as the stacks get higher, but he's not yet in Wrath, he takes less damage from all sources, and then when he goes into Wrath, that protection goes away. And so the longer he takes going into Wrath, the longer he's spending reducing damage. And so the fact that it took all the way until 12 that second time really hurt Andy, and that's just pure RNG.
Yep. And yeah, that was a gorgeous spot fight on the other end.
I'd like to take a moment to thank Lee Boyce for the generous support of the channel and the tournament itself. One of you know why Andrew went with Rupture instead of Poison on that fight versus Sassy?
Honestly, my suspicion...
Yeah, go ahead, Diallo.
I said my suspicion is that, I think TJ's right to get the poison immunity from recoil. I'm still not sure it was worth it. I wonder if Andy knows that the node description isn't accurate and that poison works.
I also think he might have the Hulk relic on there, and the Rupture synergize with the physical vulnerability you get there. But because there's no Petrify, it's not going to boost you up to 10. So yeah, I don't know if the trade-off, especially because you're not Rupture immune, maybe going to Shock makes a bit more sense as well there. But yeah.
No, I personally think that's... I think poison is the only way to play Scorpion unless you're fighting somebody who's poison immune in this meta. The healing reduction from the poison being one of the only ways to reduce it is just irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And also, here we have Omega, who's going to turn off Masochism on the node, and is a good Gallon counter because he's not going to throw a lot of specials. It's going to be a lot of passive, playing slow, and letting the degens tick.
All of that is
a rank 2 carry.
Is really important because those extra regen buffs count towards his harvest, and normally you think, okay, well I can bait 3 SB1s, but then this time he's had a couple of regen buffs and he goes into harvest early.
Oh my god.
Oh, that regen at the end.
Dude, that saved him.
Wow.
The rank 2 difference.
Wow.
From Shuri.
Yeah. And that regen that just snuck like 10%.
Wow.
That's the thing. That's what these tournaments come down to. Those tiny, tiny, tiny differences in the way you play and the times you do stuff. Throwing that SB1 at the end killed him, and it got him topped off. Wow.
But Gallon was also a couple ticks away from dying anyway, so he nearly didn't get the regen in the first place. So it's just these margins in these tournaments is incredible.
Absolutely. It's the power of the shorts, to be quite honest. And someone pointed out that Hulkling's crit RNG was bad. And while that is true, the 7-star challenge rating is actually going to make it harder to crit when you're using a 6-star against him. So even though there are bigger health pools with the 7 stars, coupling that with the built-in crit resistance from challenge rating makes them pretty hard to take down.
Yeah, and that's even higher with the next rank as well.
Yep.
Right.
Is that
'Cause it's
Shuri
important to... Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, and it's important to remember Hulkling was built around low crit rate anyway. His whole idea is big white numbers. It's why he has Pierce as a way to get through armor without critting. And so in a way, given the challenge rating, it wasn't even bad RNG. That was just Shuri doing her work.
Yep. Makes total sense. Watching Omega cook folks is still so satisfying. He has aged gracefully. He does not ever go out of style.
Seeing him recently is making me think about ranking him, even though I don't have recalls unlocked whatsoever.
Yeah. And I think because of the way his playstyle synergizes with wanting to prevent special attacks, he's almost like a power controller just based on how little you hit the opponent.
Yeah. It was, I mean, you mentioned not giving Gallon many specials, but it's also interesting that specifically the way the match works out, you throw the one special to when Gallon is at like 90.
Mm-hmm.
And then you reduce it down to 30 and you're probably good for the rest of the way.
Yep, exactly. Andrew got Tigra though. That's his weapon. Whenever Andrew uses Tigra here, I would put good money that he's going to win that. Yeah, it's 1-0 Mike. And at the moment, I'm kind of thinking that Andrew has the better draft, but I think it's marginal, and I wouldn't bet against Mike.
I wouldn't count anyone out either.
Absolutely.
Like, the recoil damage could definitely add up.
Absolutely. But Omega Red with recoil and Tigra, that's two attackers that are pretty hard to overcome for Mike.
Yeah.
The Viv Vision draft is very interesting. I wonder if Mike has someone specific in mind for her.
Yeah,
I'm seeing a perfect defender.
I'm very curious.
Yeah, like, I don't think she'll get used, I'll be honest, because there's no one really there that I can see her being useful for over the others.
This one is really interesting that Mike got Andrew's Omega off the bench, because then you know Jessica's going down next.
Yep.
And while I'm not saying Mike will die to her or anything, there's no clear counter. So round 2 is going to be very interesting.
That's what I was about to say with Viv. I think Viv is going to work for Jess. Because while unstoppable, Viv is still unblockable. And if you can hit Jess under that bar and not give her power, you're just going to be sitting there doing all the same damage.
My concern,
really,
though,
she
is
does
that
have no resistance.
Jess scales off of the opponent's power, not her own.
Yeah, I know. If you can get one special 2 off without the unstoppable, I think you're safe with Viv.
My worry is
the resistance.
few ranks at the time of the SP1s to have, like TJ's pointing out, the resistance and also the weaknesses that have stacked up on you. I feel like it's just going to tickle her.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if it worked, though. That would be very, very cool.
Because it's definitely, you're
around
correct
3.
that it's an interesting call that may be what he has in mind.
Yeah. But it looks like the recoil Omega Red's just too strong.
And also, Rintra is too much of a jerk. Again.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Mike might even play just for round 3.
I mean, I have seen Gallon work for Jess. It's just difficult to play around the unstoppable, but if you get a couple of the harvests off, because it's not based on resistances, you can get her down.
Yeah, I'll say you can do 1 special 2, 1 special 1, and that finishes Jess with Gallon.
Yep.
I did it against you earlier, Bitter. Or was it against Rye? I can't remember.
I don't have her Jess, so it was right.
Yeah, looking back now, it was. But yeah, if
So
you can
if Andy
just not get
puts
hit.
down, I don't know if Andy has a good defender after Jess. So I'm curious if Mike ends up, or if Andy ends up throwing this round to hold Jess for round 3, or going for it right now.
He's got spot, right?
Yeah, but I don't
think Andy
Mike is
should
gonna
throw
have
this
a
round.
problem with spot.
Well, I
I
don't,
don't
think
think
he should obviously throw.
Right.
Okay, that's what was kind of coming.
The thing is, if you do throw when you're placing first, it's very easy for the opponent to just place down a very inconsequential defender. It's better to throw if the opponent is placing first, because then you can decide which match to target.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you place first, it's almost never correct to throw.
In
I'm not
Tiger
sure if I
versus
was in.
Ranger.
This is interesting. I definitely favour Andy here. I've done this spot matchup, and if it gets to the point where she goes unstoppable, it's game over.
Yeah.
So Mike has one L2 here to really get Jess down. If he gets everything right and throws it without being above 2 bars of power for too long, it could go really well.
He needed
The
to
fact that
start
he's throwing 5 combos doesn't give me hope.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out what exactly he's doing there and why he's not building spots.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason, but I'm not following it.
Also, building up more of the red spots as well would be much better. Building.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Jess is there. That's the thing with spot. Jess is there building up
Nope, there it is.
the investigation while she's not being hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you want to do is start off by doing a bunch of spots, go untouchable, and get a good round in, build up your bank, and then go into untouchable one more time just before the L2.
Woof.
Anyway, I think Andy's
Andy
got it anyway.
closed out Rintra, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mike's already lost enough health, even if he's perfect from here on out.
Also, it's interesting to see the poll as well that's in chat. It's pretty much a 50-50 split of people rooting for Mike and Andy.
And he got that frame.
But I do think that's interesting because Mike obviously has a larger following, so it's great to see that people think it's going to be so equal. I really like that.
Yeah, I think it's because people underestimated Andy the first time when he was going up against Nick, and then he absolutely demolished that. Like he just played exceptionally well. Like Nick played great as well. Don't get me wrong, but I think Andy was just on fire that day.
It's always fun to see untouchable spot versus an unstoppable opponent.
Yeah.
Just throwing basic hits into them while they're both moving.
So 1-2-0 for each of them is an interesting way to start.
I actually kind of feel like that's the existence of running recoil. Is either you're going to win 2-0 and dominate, or you're going to lose 2-0 because you don't get the proper draft.
I don't think either of those 2-0s have been drafted. Or like specifically for drafts either.
I know what you mean, but I feel the thing with recoil decks
I
is
feel
like you have less counters. Like, for example, Scorpion right now for the Sasquatch, without recoil, he probably wins that. He goes to poison and he destroys him. But because he has recoil on, he had to go rupture. He didn't reduce the healing, and that went on too long. It's just little things like that where recoil might bite you in the butt, but when you get to a spot versus Rintra and easily kill with one special 2, it's obviously benefiting you a lot.
You're basically saying that the drafts don't look that bad, but recoil is causing them to be swingier in practice.
Yes.
Probably,
There's higher highs, lower lows.
I think that makes sense.
So one thing to point out here is Andy switched his ban from Zemo to Shuriam. Now we're seeing Mike with his Zemo, so I'll be interested to see what happens here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny when bands switch like that because I think that call makes sense, but also Mike loves Zemo.
Oh, yeah. I feel like if you
Like-
fight somebody with your best counter for that person and it doesn't go well, you got to switch it up.
I think if
But
you look at both of those matches back, the first one definitely could have gone to round 3 with ease. And the second one, I just feel like Mike played his cards wrong. Like,
Yeah.
if I was in that situation, I probably would have gone with Spot for Rinfra and then Omega for Jess.
Yeah.
And he could have potentially taken both of those.
But the Rintra the Rintra with Omega could well have gone quicker than the Mojo. It's just how it kind of works out in the match as well.
Not with recoil. Like Omega with recoil versus Omega without versus a Rinfra. I'd still root for Andy in that one.
That's true,
Yeah.
TJ, but Mike's Omega is rank 5 while Andy's is rank 4. And because Omega mostly scales off of base attack, that there is some marginal advantages without recoil. And if the AI wasn't good and he couldn't stack up spores initially, then I think that Mike could have had that. But that's like if the AI plays into you with Omega with recoil, they're getting out of here.
Another point against recoil here is I don't know if Andy has a great option for Rintra, because Absman can work, but you're going to be spamming a lot of SB1s, and that's a lot of health.
Yep.
I love Carl for Rintra, but yeah, your point about recoil is well taken.
Mm-hmm.
It's also
Especially
worth,
with-
of course, saying that Carl scales really well with recoil.
Interesting to see Andy use Herc for this domino.
I think with recoil, if you get good RNG, like you're going to get through this extremely quickly.
Oh, yeah. Interesting to see. I
Ooh,
think
yeah,
Mike-
that Terax pull is interesting because, yeah, Rintra is the clear option, but then you lose the defender.
I think I go Omega here.
Well, and Omega makes
Yeah, that's
sense,
done.
but then you're removing an unconditional counter later. So yeah, this is a very interesting play.
Yeah, I think I actually side with Mike and Omega because of the low sig. He can just back off and let that rock field go away quickly.
And
Kill
even then,
the-
he deals
Oh.
with Terax really well because his tentacle attacks won't take damage back from the rock field itself, and inequity isn't really an issue because Omega doesn't get affected by the weakness from it.
Yep, all base attack. And meanwhile, Andy's destroying, this Domino, but he's taking a lot of health because Domino is Domino. She has not
Quick
changed.
pause to give
Right.
props to Mike for that gorgeous special 2 decks right there for the punish.
Absolutely.
And taking the opportunity to heal up again. Very well played.
Thank you. And Andy's eating special 3.
Did Domino fail SP2 stun there?
Yep.
Oh, we love her.
Yeah, this is why Domino is my favorite champ in the game.
Have you ever seen a Domino SP3 animation after something stupid happens? Like failing the SP2 stun into his SP3 is the most Domino thing ever.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised.
Yep. And now Mike has Rintra, Zemo, Mole Man, and Iceman all as defenders that you can place.
It's in a very
Yeah,
I do
strong.
think Andy does have counters for all of them, though. Like, he could even just use Tigra for Rintra.
No, he
I
definitely
trust-
could.
I trust
And Warlock will get Rintra down.
Right. This is Warlock for Iceman, right?
Is he cold snap immune?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first, if not the first.
I don't think he was first. I think
I think it was
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth, right? Yeah.
Sabretooth was first.
But I think Warlock was second. Like, it's very old.
Or Mephisto.
Mephisto
Oh,
I
was
knew
yeah.
he was going to do this. I knew he was going to do this.
Mike with his champion. This is going to be interesting.
So if he can stack a bunch of bleeds and then let him refine, he's going to get a bunch of furies.
Yeah, because the patch isn't live yet. Mike loves this matchup. Oh, dear.
I
recoil is very strong.
Yeah, I would say Warlock with recoil's a different beast.
That's absolutely true as well.
Would one of you guys
My
mind
goodness.
talking through what the strategy Mike is attempting to implement? Like, really just go through the steps, because I know he did a video on it. I don't think he voiced it over and explained it, just so people
I don't
can
think
kind
it
of see that
matters
cool
now.
thing out of Zemo.
So, in theory, I think he's trying to get Carl to refine into Uru, get all those Furies, and then just do a massive medium.
And the Furies would come from Zemo's ability, where he gets a massive Fury when his debuffs are shrugged, correct?
Yes.
Or when an opponent is immune to them.
Very good. Okay, so essentially it didn't work out for Mike here, but I wanted people to know, and if you're interested in it, because it is cool. A lot of people ask about, why do you like Zemo so much? Why? I think it's a hard one to just quickly display or explain. Mike has a video on his channel. I really recommend you check it out, and now you kind of know exactly what he's doing there. There's a lot of cool interactions with Zemo. There's like little nuggets. They're almost like Easter eggs, and you discover them, and they're very, very cool. It didn't work out for him there. It is what it is. But if you want to see the interaction, it's on his channel.
So
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
the
Carl-
final round, because neither of them have good options for Rintra now. It might be, Moleman does work well, but it's not the fastest.
Tigra's pretty darn good since I fixed that.
I would almost place Moleman for Rintra and then go Rintra for Rintra. Place Moleman against the Tigra.
I think that actually would have made pretty good sense, but Tigra versus Rintra, I think, has the clear edge here.
Yeah, especially without recoil. I don't think Moleman does enough damage to get past the Rintra in Masochism's health pool.
And the fix does make it much easier, but it's still something to watch out for. You do need to watch Rintra's charges.
Right. He
For
can go above 10 in a bad spot. And it's actually why, funnily enough, I don't think I would be trying to back him up, which I feel like Andrew is maybe doing a little bit. There we go.
Yeah.
He waits for the unblockable to come online. You see it go up to, that was 7, right? It's rather small on my screen. It's a spooky fight.
Yeah. One thing he did well, which you called out, DLL, was make sure that the neutralize falls off before you throw that special, because otherwise he's going to start with some charges and he will go to 10 during the special. So yeah, Andy
Right.
played that incredibly well.
People talk about wanting to use comfort champs in these tournaments, and when Tigra is your comfort champ, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, that was beautiful from Andy.
Yeah.
Really well.
I'd like to take a moment. DL pointed something out there, and you saw Andrew. He started backing off to make sure he didn't get Rintra into that corner. So that was amazing announcing by you all. You guys are doing phenomenally. Thank you for it. But what I want to point out here is I think Andrew is around 640-ish subscribers right now. The man is up 2-1 against KarateMike. He upset Nick136. He does live streams. He does war videos where he talks about the champs and how to use them. I would love it. I would love it if at the end of this tournament we could get him above 1,000. Let's get him monetized. If you're considering doing anything to help out the tournament, help us all out, make sure you go subscribe to Andrew the Ruff. Links in the description. And then all the guys that are helping me co-host today, because literally without them, we would not have been able to show this to you. Thanks, guys. Again, appreciate it.
So I wouldn't say there's anyone more deserving of it than Andy at the moment.
Yeah,
You've got a
absolutely.
really great channel. Lots of fun Adam Warlock gameplay and good war stuff. Definitely worth checking out.
Plus, who doesn't want to look at that face?
Yeah, I actually think Andrew, I think he intentionally sent Domino to the SB3 so he could show us all the biceps. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was a bicep gun show on there. It all felt very intentional and like he did it purely to show the biceps.
That's the type of showmanship you got to subscribe for, Vega.
Exactly.
And yeah, Mike is super patient and calm right now, as K-Dog said. I mean, he's been streaming for years at this point. These are just tournaments. He's streamed, high-level content. He's had to make war videos for years. There's pressure in MCoC is probably one and the same for him now. And yeah, still sticking with that Sherry ban. And Mike is
That's
still going to get
interesting.
his emo.
I'm glad you guys are here bringing the high level analysis to the actual fights, because I'm doing things like I'm enjoying the emoji back and forth between these two. I think there's a lot of messages being sent, showing the intensity of it all.
I was just gonna say this is the most like tasteful, frequent use of emojis I've seen yet in Battlegrounds.
Really, it's high level emoji use, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's that cap emoji is just so kind.
It is.
Such a nice salute.
It was interesting to see Mike draft Rintra there, and then Andy pass up on the opportunity of Spot in the first few drafts.
And then we see you said Andrew, and then he gets the Spot there coming back.
Yeah,
I want to see if we see the Mantis. I really feel like the 7 stars may help her quite a bit. I want to see how that buff turns out. I'm very excited about her. A quick question as we enter, and I know there's a lot of you on there, so we'll just go directly to Bitter here for this one. How have you found fighting 7 stars? I accidentally pushed them red a few times here because of the combat power rate. Anything else that you've noticing or thoughts on fighting them against them in particular?
I mean, we've spoken about MCoC being a surprising pain, but it's just the block damage for me. I mean, it is noticeable. That block pen stat added on with the challenger rating and extra stats, it just does feel like it hurts. That's the main thing I've noticed.
Yeah, writing block stinks. Like, as we head into the vote, keep an eye out for characters that you really don't want to block. Think about how rough they're going to be as 7 stars. I almost leaked.
And also how
there.
you could use that to your advantage. Yes, I'm evil.
What Andy does with defense in this round, because he doesn't have a ton of really obvious defenders. That's why we might be seeing Magneto straight away.
Yeah. And Galen's just going to handle Magneto, right? Like, there's nothing there.
Actually, I was going to ask you guys, will Magneto's signature ability prevent the massive damage?
I don't
I think it's just hit damage.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Pretty sure that's correct, yeah.
I'll check out.
I will say, you can't punish his heavy, so he's going to be semi-annoying with masochism. A lot of reparrying and backing off and everything, but
I was almost wondering if Mike was going to head straight for the corner and go for that trick.
Yep, and I think we just saw our first real big mistake in gameplay there. Mike taking a pretty big hit.
Yeah, he was definitely going for trying to get the timing perfectly right. Because for those of you who don't know, there is a window where you can punish Magneto's heavy. It's just tiny.
To be fair, on Aunt May it says that it prevents him from losing health from any damage source or any single damage source excluding Special 3.
Yeah, but he's old.
True.
Sorry.
And it doesn't look like that. No, yeah.
I would have to double check again, but I'm pretty sure that it is just hit damage, and those our old strings are not as consistent, unfortunately.
That Harvest looked like it did the right sort of damage.
Plus, can we just appreciate how clean that Warlock fight was?
Yeah, that was good.
I need to rank mine up.
I saw firsthand what sort of damage he can do as a high ranked recall runner. It's very, very good.
Mm.
Take a quick second to welcome Nick136, BBC celebrity himself, one of the highest rated competitors in all of the tournament. Thank you so much for being here and bringing along your stream. I'm sure it was a phenomenal one, as they always are. Chibi from my own battle group in SSX, thank you so much for being here. And to everyone who were not named, Tobias, as always, I appreciate you going and subbing to Andrew and all the things, especially the pizza analogy, which I still enjoy using from time to time. All right, I'll turn it back over to the co-host for that high-level analysis.
Ooh,
Mike
Carl
Smith
versus Gallon race.
This will be interesting.
I want to
Yeah.
bet on Carl here. I really do. And I do think that it's possible. Gallon in masochism is so scary because he's going to get those regen buffs.
Right. The difference between going into Harvest after 3 special ones versus 2, if masochism triggers twice, is just so scary.
Yep. But
It would
Mystic
be worth
Dispersion,
I do think that Mystic Dispersion is going to give a big advantage here, though.
and that's energy damage right there. But he's just such a tanky champ.
The
Yeah.
only thing I found with Gallon with Mystic Dispersion is if you're running 5 and 4 buffs expire at once, especially with Carl if you're in Uru, it can just push you right to L2 and then you're not
Yep,
refined.
right on cue.
Oh, yeah. Yep. As it happens.
Timed that quite well.
Ooh, but then he timed the other one beautifully.
Yep.
No, he played that very well, dealt with it incredibly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice work.
That was a
Is
very
it
good
nice to
fight.
see your child do that, DLL?
Given that his purpose was to have a very high ceiling when played perfectly, yes, I would say that was entirely in character.
Yep. Because you saw him at the beginning doing those quick light intercepts. Completely unnecessary. That was Mike flexing, trying to win the bicep. But he was doing it really well.
Yeah, Mike worked for that, for sure.
There's probably no better champ to try and win the bicep war than the abs, though.
Yeah, for sure. So it comes down to this round, and he's going to play Zemo. I mean, Kitty's just going to rip through this, right?
We might see Mantis versus Absman.
And I've done that before, and it works well because the guaranteed crits
Yep.
and the special, stat boost is going to be massive. The
Only
big
thing
problem
is,
in masochism is having to get her debuffs up to ramp her. But right now, Andy's running recoil, so you're going to be able to get that initial infuriate up pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
if Kitty eats a hit against Zemo or a blocked one, that will be the difference, I think. But if he plays it as well as he's been playing so far, I can't see Mantis beating this.
I'm not counting her out until that special 2 lands.
Yeah,
True.
absolutely.
Zemo is.
Here he goes for it.
2.
Yeah, no, Kitty's got it because that was full, but wow, this is going to be close.
If Zemo had thrown that L2, we could have seen a different outcome because he had the opportunity and didn't.
Yeah, that
So
is
that was
seconds.
Yeah. Wow.
Very well. Is that a 53k or close to 54? I can't quite see, but like losing that, it shows the quality if you're losing with a score like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's just 2 massive special 2 nukes. And that's the thing. That's where recoil pays off. If you're going to be dropping 55k with Kitty, running recoil is completely worth it.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but there was actually a small moment where I was like, man, I really hope that I didn't just say that this is the end or whatever, and then Mantis doesn't finish it, but it was pretty refreshing to actually see that 100k crit.
Oh, yeah. And we'll see, like, the rebalancing sheet came out, and they said she's getting a tune-up. So even in those matchups where she doesn't finish, or maybe she does finish, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just excited. Like, you see that is getting even better. Some exciting stuff.
You know, I think that's a great point right there. And I've seen it in the chat too. Is like the 4 of you on call are pulling fights like that off, like pretty regularly. And I think I'll speak for the rest of us, where it's like all the fights in that set there, I could never dream of doing. I mean, maybe 1 out of 10, I'll hit it. But I mean, the fights against like the Rintra and then the Absorbing Man and the Gallon, it's just it's really cool to see. And I see it in the chat too that the skills that were on display there, the way Mike was manipulating the Absorbing Man, and then how you guys pointed it out. If Andrew took even one blocked hit from that Zemo, that fight is totally different. It's just really impressive. It's really, really impressive stuff. And that they're doing it live while streaming in a tournament.
Absolutely.
Quick answer here to Vast. Yeah, that is on the list. It should be resolved in most matchups because that mostly shows up on account of certain guaranteed crits not being coded the same way that others. That's kind of a best practices thing. We're also looking into the underlying interaction. Sorry that may not have been the most satisfying answer, but yeah, it's on the radar.
So after Mike's opening win, Andrew's taken 3 in a row. So Mike is he's got to win these last few to stay in it.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought we were for sure on the best of 7 track. I thought that was almost a for sure thing after the first 2 sets. Andrew's showing why we've been hyping him up so much right now. This is far from over, though. The one big thing, and I want to point this out because we talked about it in the draft show, was Andrew's channel was so new, and we all knew he was a phenomenal player, but the streaming aspect of it, and I've noticed he's been doing more and more live streams. He does not look unsettled to me at all. He came out 2-0. Mike skunked him the first one. It looks like no confidence was lost or no unsettled, no nerves, just totally with it. And I think we're seeing it. I think we're seeing the difference from Andrew from the first tournament he was in, the 3-star tournament, to now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Mike was debating a change in ban there, but he took the whole 30 seconds to stick with Ghost there.
I actually thought he was going to ban Kitty. I really think he probably should have. After you see a 55k score, I feel like you got to. You know what I mean?
The thing with that is, though, you could just leave Ghost unbanned, and then she gets another 55k score.
I'd probably drop Adam if I was in his shoes and just figure it out on the fly.
Be interesting to see if Mike is targeting that Rintra with negative. That's a hard one to pull out in this meta. Negative really loses a lot by not being able to reverse health.
Yeah. I've used my rank 5 and having killed Rintras before just because you don't get that willpower reversal.
Yeah, it takes at least 2 SP2s in this meta at the moment.
Aaron, just real quick to answer that, I'm not aware of a bug, but that doesn't mean that there 100% is or is not one. I don't want to commit to that and say, yes, absolutely, it's locked in, take it to the bank, but I am not aware of a bug with her taunt.
It's just big, strong when synergized with inequity and all the power stings.
Yeah. Because she doesn't even hit the weakness cap. It should just be 40% from the taunt plus 36% from inequity.
What's the cap?
90.
I thought it was 75 for some reason. But yeah.
No, like Titania can hit the cap. There are other characters that can.
Yeah.
But the 90, or I don't believe Cassie can hit 90.
I know Apocalypse is one that hits the cap.
Yeah, after the special 3.
Yep.
All right, I want to see
what he needs.
This kind of is a little bit of what I was bringing up earlier, and then Bitter went exactly to a conversation he and I have had. For some reason, I feel like I'm noticing the difference with 7 stars even more with MCoC, and now we're going to get to see MCoC on defense, and then the 7-star Sasquatch. I want to see how this works out. Obviously, these guys are both great, so I think they're going to play these well. I think the 7-star defenders are going to... Oh, that's not a 7-star MCoC, is it? Did I have the color wrong? I did.
No.
I did. But it's still a 7-star Sasquatch, so that point remains. I want to see how they perform.
Yeah, and the challenge rating is going to lower Archangel's crit, so that's going to be less bleeds given.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Archangel has this, especially with recoil. Those numbers are going to get a bit too big.
But because
Health
I
could be a big
believe
factor.
that Archangel's bleeds aren't only based on his crits. There's only a small chance actually to get crit-based bleeds compared to a 50% chance on just each hit of the heavy. So he does
Oh.
still work quite well.
Right.
Yeah.
Did anyone else see?
Woof.
Oh, did anyone else see that? That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
That
just
is
lost
right.
all his dark energy.
I feel like
And push
MCoC is somebody that a lot of us have maybe underrated as a defender for a while. And we're starting to see him back in decks, even as a 6-star, just because of how strong that
Oh,
7-star.
hold on. Did
Well-
anyone watch the top screen?
Yeah, I was gonna say, watch the reactions. One of these guys is going to get a win
my
that they did
goodness.
not
Wow.
expect, and I think it looks like it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they didn't expect it. They both thought for sure they were losing. Yeah, yeah, you can see them laughing about it.
that is winning ugly.
Hey, they all count. They all count.
I've had way too many of those.
Did Sasquatch go red? What happened?
I'm
I
guessing
didn't
special
see. I was
too.
more focused on the bottom screen. But then I saw the winning animation and thought, hang on a minute.
I think what
Caught by
happened
an elf.
is MCoC heard me saying, "Oh, it's just a 6-star." Got really pissed off and took it out on Mike, and then that just kind of started a cascading waterfall. Of,
Yeah, Matt
of
says hit him
negativeness.
with the last part of special too. That is how you die to Sasquatch.
It should be
This-
about an hour and a half ago.
This Hulkling versus Jess can go well if you can nuke it down in 1 SB2, which will help with the recoils.
Mantis versus Rintra is interesting. You've got to stay in the middle of the map for most of this fight, just because you're not going to be able to knock him down with heavy attacks.
Whoa, did you see how close Andy was to losing the unblockable on that special too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Also, the
But-
fact that Jess didn't punish him was quite fortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the resistances combined with Teddy's low crit rate did some work there. Ooh, and then Mantis doesn't finish.
Yeah, I think Candy takes this.
all that work, and she didn't close it out.
Wait, hang on. This could still go the other way.
Clearly needs a
think-
buff.
He needs to punish the recoil that Rintra is going to give himself.
Yeah, I would say this is going to be very close.
Oh wow!
Wow. Okay.
I think that qualifies as very close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That feels like the definition of.
Yeah,
Very
purely because of the health
close.
difference.
And that's the match.
DLL,
Yeah, Andy wins 4-1.
I appreciate you knowing where I was going with the. It's a shame, man. Just didn't close it out. that was.
Right, so now I've got to face Andy. Great.
Congratulations on your victory. You get to face TJarvis. And for those who don't know, I'll bring up the playoff bracket here for you because Andrew has now secured advancement. This is what I was talking about. And in fact, go subscribe to TJarvis and Andrew. Let's get them both monetized. You see how good they are at this game, producing videos, helping us get better as we are entertained. Thank you to all the co-hosts, guys. I'm going to try to set up that bracket real quick. If either of Andrew or Mike joins us on call, if you could congratulate them for me. Obviously a phenomenal showing from both of them.
Yep,
And we can
speaking
talk
of-
to them both a little bit. Thanks, guys. I
Hello?
appreciate it.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Yo, how's it going,
What's up, man?
dude? What's up?
What's going on? Did you get my text? I texted you.
Oh no, I did not. Let me go ahead and check that.
Oh, it just said go F yourself. You don't have to check.
Oh, love you.
it was specifically after the Kitty versus Zemo fight.
Dude, that fight was super close. Like, it was nuts. Yeah, Kitty versus Emo, dude. Like I thought the special 2 was gonna kill him. It didn't kill him, and he just sat there. I thought he was gonna throw a special 2 and screw me, but it was
Oh
fine.
god, I'll have to have a chat with that Zemo afterwards.
Yeah, dude. He should have thrown it. He totally would have won that.
He's got to be more. He's got to be more special happy.
Yeah, bro.
We can put him in training with my Hyperion, talk about throwing specials.
That'd be great. That'd be
Same,
great.
yeah.
So congrats to both of you.
Both
That was
guys.
really well played. I guess my first question is there some extra drama in the 4Loki line chat right now?
No, there might be. I haven't checked it out yet, but
So onto the fight. I mean, both of you were playing incredible. It's really tough to see like a 52, 53k score and know that you still lost because the other person's played so well.
Yeah.
Mike, I saw there was one moment where you were waiting like the full 30 seconds for the bans and then still stuck with your original bans. Was that a pause, or were you considering changing things up?
I was, considering it, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to be banning Fury. Adam is too busted to let him have Adam. So it kind of comes down to like, did I want to ban Tigra, Kitty, or Ghost? I just stuck with Ghost. At the end of the day, Ghost is still the best of the three, in my opinion. She could just completely nuke. He's running suicides. Ghost is going to shrug them off, and she's going to kill in one special too. So it's just as fast as he was with Kitty and Tigra, he would have been even faster with Ghost.
Right. It's kind of pick your poison when you're facing someone with recoil. We were saying, why don't you ban Ghost? But like, she's just going to put up the same scores, if not better.
Yeah. Also, his Ghost is rank 5. If you didn't know, so it's like it's a rank 5 Ghost with recoils on. It's just like it would be a 15-second fight.
Yeah,
you know what I
with
mean?
recoils off.
yeah.
It's a question real quick for Andrew. Andrew, I know that you've been doing more live streaming lately.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like that was helpful to you in this one? Because Mike comes out and just 2-0s you, right? Mike's like, look, you're you're Andrew the Ruff. I get it. You're good at this game. But I'm karate freaking Mike. And he's like, you're going down 2-0, kid. And it looked like that didn't phase you at all. Was that part of it because of the live stream you've been doing, a lot of the practice, or just you let me kind of walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I've definitely been playing Battlegrounds on live stream like a few times, and it definitely helps with just like getting used to streaming while playing. And yeah. After the first round, I was a little bit shaken up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, dude, what if he straight up like 4-0s me right now? But then like after the second round where I 2-0'd him back, I was like, okay, I'm back. I got this. And then it just kept on going from there.
Okay, that's great. That's awesome to see. And this goes to both of you. One of the matchup that's most, of course, the guys I have on call, right? They're all phenomenal players. They're like you guys, just the 0.01% of this game. But there's a question for the rest of us, which I feel like I represent, is the match where it was McGog versus Negative and Archangel versus, I think, Sasquatch.
Oh God,
dude, that one was comedy.
Yeah, like were you guys shocked when you saw the other person's score?
Yeah, because that's one of those fights where I was like, like I figured like it would probably be like maybe a 90-second fight, give or take, with Archangel, maybe a little bit faster. Probably faster because he's running recoils, but like it got to the point where I don't even remember what happened, but something happened where I think I dashed back, he chased me and comboed me, and I went down to like 50%, and I was like, well, this is over. And I just like started just like playing bad mentally at that point. And if I just threw the special 3, he would have taken that the direct damage. And I was thinking to myself, like, all right, I could throw the special 3, or I could build up more dark energy. So I tried to build up a little bit more. Then he got me with a heavy attack, and I was like, whatever. That was stupid. And then I saw that he only had like 20% health, more taken off of Sasquatch than McGog. And I was like, man, if I just threw that special 3, I never expected it to look like that at the end. It was so funny.
Yeah, for sure. Like after I died with AA, I was like, dude, I totally lost this round. And then I saw Mike die, and then I ended up winning. And it's hella funny because I had a similar round in like when I was playing Victory Track prior to this, and then I sent that to the 4Loki chat, and then I was like,
yeah,
dude,
you did. I remember that.
It actually was.
So funny.
I have a quick question for Andy. So there was a Scorpion, I believe, Sasquatch matchup, and you went Rupture, and there were a few questions in chat. Why the Rupture instead of the Poison? Was it to do with suicides or a relic? And I just wondered if you could walk us through that a little.
Yeah. Because I'm running suicides right now, so I don't want my Scorpion to be not immune to poison. So if I stuck with poison, yeah, I reduce his healing, but then my healing also gets reduced by the poison. And I really don't want that because you need to save as much health as you can. I figured a rank 5 Scorpion would have enough damage to nuke him down, even without the reduction from the poison, which it wasn't. It was a super beefy Sasquatch. But then I've done plenty of matches before with Scorpion in the victory track, and he does fine without the poison. He has enough damage to nuke most champs, but just not Sassy.
Yeah.
Well, phenomenal showing, guys. You guys both, I think, were playing pretty much at the top of your games. We had one that I think came down to like 200 points or something like that. There's not much.
I had a few of those.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Mantis.
Yeah, I love her.
Dude, crazy gameplay, crazy. I thought the Rintra fight specifically. I've never done that match before. I thought it was gonna go poorly.
Me neither. I didn't know how that was gonna go.
Yeah.
That was the first time for me.
Yeah.
But it went well.
Phenomenally well played. Manipulating the AI like that. I see Spooky. Does Spooky have anything that Spooky would like to say?
Yep, Spooky. He would like to say that he was actually the one behind the AA versus Sasquatch win. So yeah, just taking some credit there with you.
I figured as much.
Total shark. That's Spooky. Total shark. Well, guys, thank you so much. I know that you took time out of your Sunday to do this. Andrew, I know you were up at some very early hour. Mike, it's not that much later for you, so I appreciate you doing this too. I'm incredibly grateful for all the co-hosts. As I said a few times, I knew I would not be able to sit here and do both without at least taking a few breaks. So the co-hosts really saw us through. Without them, this would not have happened today as far as on this channel. The links to all the co-hosts, all the competitors in the description. Andrew and TJ are not monetized yet. Let's get them monetized. Go to their channels. They are phenomenal. They're putting on shows for you. Phenomenal channels, extremely entertaining. I'd like to let all the co-hosts, there's a lot of them, take us out. And then, of course, Andrew. Oh, Andrew, by the way, you have won your group.
Yep, so I have to face TJ next, which I'm not too happy about.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Congratulations. Your precedent for winning your group is to face TJ. And Mike,
this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's
quite a gift.
I mean, that's what Battleworld's all about. This is Battleworld. We got the best. Like, you had to qualify for this tournament. You got the best. You're going up against the best. Mike, you're not out of it, of course. We'll talk a little bit about how that works, but all the number 2 seeds will have a chance to advance. So I appreciate you being part of it.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go co-hosts, then Mike, then Andrew, and then everyone. You can see it in the chat. We're gonna raid DLL after this. You can see I'll pin his comment. So thank you so much, everybody. Chat. You guys are wise as fun. All of the financial support up there too for all the Royu, OG Highline, Zach Richards, Lee Boyce, Aaron from Ohio, and of course O's fan.
So first of all, congrats, Angie, for topping your group, and best luck in the next round. Mike, well played. Just to reiterate, Vega, definitely sub to Andy and TJ. Andy's got some great war gameplay and great Adam gameplay. TJ, you'll sub for the accent and you'll stay for the moron counter. So definitely do those.
Yeah, GG's to both you guys. Both put on a phenomenal performance today. Yeah, best of luck to both you guys in the next couple of rounds.
Is it my turn? I think
Yes.
it's my turn.
Oh, it's definitely your turn.
Who's turn
All
next?
right. Guys, there was a really fun stream. It was a fantastic matchup against Andy. Like Vega was saying, if you guys haven't subscribed to Andy, he's a great dude. He has some decent biceps, and he's got a pretty darn cute dog as well. So go check out his channel if you want to see some Adam gameplay. Pretty sure Adam is still a little broken, a little busted and bugged as well with this Special 3 Fury, and Andy's been having a little bit of fun with that. So go check out his video over there. If you want to do that, throw him some love. As always, throw some love to Vega. I'm sure you guys know Vega at this point. Absolutely wonderful guy, fantastic member of the community, so always support him as much as you can. That's going to be it for me as well. We're going to end the stream here too. Thank you so much for hanging out, and huge shout out to Vega for throwing this whole thing together.
Yeah, for sure. And massive thanks to Vega for sure for having both me and Mike in here. GG's to Mike, and yeah, I'll see you in the next round, TJ.
Yeah, best of luck, my friend.
Yep, you too, bro.
Have a great one, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you.